We can substitute a lot of things in life, but there is no substitute when it comes to God. He is the king of our everything, when times are good and when times are hard. I know this life can sometimes feel overwhelmingly stressful and downright depressing, but there is no substitute for God because He is still able to deliver a blessing. We must remain faithful and prevail through the chastening and testing, being confident that there is no weapon formed against us that can prosper. We are able to stand in the midst of the storm, being made more than conquerors. There is no substitute for a God that always fulfills His every promise. He is not slack in His giving. He is our only hope for salvation. Let us continue to pray for strength and patience regardless of these situations. We serve an awesome God who is always willing and always able to heal any disease or sickness because He is the great physician, able to give spiritual and physical bread to them that are hungry and desire to be fed, able to make a way out of no way in order to reveal His glory, able to take yesterday's sorrows and create a joyful tomorrow, able to make the deaf to hear, the blind to see, and the dumb to speak. There is no substitute for God, because God asks, is there anything impossible for me? His truth has made us free. Therefore, we are no longer in slavery, not slaves to guilt or poverty, neither unforgiveness nor jealousy. We cannot be slaves to the flesh or the lust that drives us to insanity, because there is no substitute for God's compassionate and unconditional love, especially during those times when we're tired of feeling like giving up. God is there to wipe away our tears and lift us up. There's no substitute for His greatness, His power, His glory, His victory, and His majesty. He is exalted as head above all and created us as His magnificent workmanship. He is not religious or fictitious. He makes a way of escape no matter how bad the conditions. There is no opposition to His position. We too must hold fast to our position, even though the devil attempts to deceive us with his subtle ambition. We must see the false light of opportunity in the son of perdition. The Son of God is our only light in hopes of receiving true repentance. Truth be told, not all the silver and gold, not all the monies and luxuries that this world can hold is a substitute to our God, who's got it all in control. No substitute. Picture the way we misbehave. Consequently, our souls begin to fade. The snapshot has left you dazed as you ride the ceremonial wave. You pray it's just a phase until you're caught up in the craze, an immoral Polaroid kept inside of a broken frame. So we try to hide behind the egotistical mask we made. Engaging in what's forbidden, we blend into the enchanted parade. We can't be betrayed when we're willing to be enslaved. Our thoughts and our behavior have yet to be changed. In the eyes of wicked men, good and evil are one and the same. Whether in ignorance or in vain, we take part in the masquerade. The whole system's been sabotaged. It's nothing more than a charade. How long shall we entertain adding fuel to this flame? And in anger we blame the creations made by the Creator as if the good of God could corrupt us who are fond of lust. We caused our pulse to be out of rhythm, befriending this system. See, I feel like I've crossed this line like a dozen of times, stepping over landmines that are trying to blow my mind, trying to control my mind with a surely you won't die if you sin just one time. The harlot tries to seduce you, giving you strange wine. That's metaphorical by design, but biblically, it's written in Proverbs chapter 9. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, so knowledge has been defined. And since we're speaking on truth, true love is never blind. You can witness love in its essence as it shines through the bloodline, but only if you take the time to get rid of your disguise. Remove the cloak from your eyes and the false face will realize that the celebration we're partaking in was meant for your demise. In the fight for our social lives, we socialize and improvise. But walking in the counsel of the ungodly is considered unwise. And it's really nonsense us trying to run and hide, and it's through these traditions of men that keep us mummified in the valley of bones that are dried. When will we come alive? To be spiritually purified, you must first be spiritually baptized. Otherwise, you remain compromised, becoming comfortable with these lies. We must clothe ourselves with righteousness, making no provisions for the flesh. Reject the evil cravings of your physical nature in order to overcome self. So again, I ask, when will we come alive and break free from this social masquerade? What's my digital worth? My biometric pedigree? Does my UPC register my information correctly? When you scan me, do you see me imaged in JPG? Is my voice a form of ID being transmitted like an MP3? Or do you Blu-ray my retina for my visual posterity? I transition to these PDF formats trying to conceal my identity, moving from Microsoft Offices to these Adobe suites. Because if they find my Wi-Fi line, they'll digitally crucify me, releasing their fiber optic philosophy to silence my soliloquy, along with these social media forces and their manipulating voices. This Bluetooth is distorting my teeth, so I have a lisp when I speak. We use finger language to critique, so I'ma call that mobile speech. In the form of a text or a tweet, where is my privacy? When you can just inbox me or use GPS to find me. No more headline news, everything's Instagrammed or posted on YouTube. In electronic warfare, we all lose, depending on what operating system we choose. They're all pre-designed to keep us spiritually confused. That's internet protocol to set social standards and common rules. But it's a shame when your television has become smarter than you. In a sense, we're all miniature USBs being plugged into the economy. Beware of the political security known as Norton and McAfee. They're looking for any anti-conformity, threats to their technology. Using electrobiology, they want to computerize our bodies. So we become walking tablets in this virtual madness. Just go to Twitter or Facebook and like my status. That is, if you have access to high-speed mechanics. This World Wide Web is forever expanding, making wireless communication extremely demanding. From 3G to 4G, how many megabytes per second are needed to recognize me, allowing my network interface to have an unformatted face, permitting 24-hour all access to my space. I hit Control-Alt-Delete trying to escape this fate of Spygate, yet I remain a victim of 500 gigabytes of unsolicited videotape, in a state where holograms replace my actual weight. I'm forced to Skype as my only resource to communicate. So from my birth date to my death date, I'm about denouncing my digital worth and proclaiming my spiritual birth. Behold, you are beautiful, my sweetest love. You are my kind of beautiful, your eyes as humble as a dove. Behold, you are beautiful, my beloved. You are my kind of beautiful, delightful, you are sent from above. With us, it has nothing to do with passion and lust. It's a sacred bond between God and us. All things being considered, it's about love and trust, establishing an infinite connection that exceeds affection, us two becoming one. See, that's our ultimate blessing. Integrity and intimacy to help us avoid any indiscretions, because in our weakest moments, there lies the deception. We can't be ashamed of being naked, walking in His perfection. It is His glory and grace that is our covering and protection. Chivalry won't get the best of me as I seduce you prophetically. That means I love you spiritually and intellectually. Only then can our flesh embrace through telepathy, as we consummate our destiny through holy fidelity. We're able through prayer to overcome arrogance and jealousy, putting no enmity between the Creator and we. In fact, it is His mercy that glorifies how our marriage should be, how charismatic our relationship is to overcome any adversity. The difficulties are ordinary, but God's love, it is extraordinary. We value the example of sweet romance at every chance, my helpmeet and my friend, my prayer partner and romantic companion. As long as we keep God first, we're on a course not to take one another for granted. Behold, you are beautiful, my sweetest love. You are my kind of beautiful, your eyes as humble as a dove. Behold, you are beautiful, my beloved. You are my kind of beautiful, delightful. You are sent from above. There's 66 books in the Bible of King James. If one of those books was lost, will we still maintain? Those who have the word written on their heart will have verses pumping through their veins. Those stuck in religion might continue living in vain. The law and the prophets came not to be a stumbling block, but a reminder of our transgressions and wicked intentions.